I would often use the metaphor that my brain was on fire. And I'd be on fire, and that's what it felt like, because that's what it used to feel like. So when I was taking really deep breaths, mindfulness, it was like the breath was putting the fire out. It was like extinguishing the fire. And you have those visuals, you have that kind of way of looking at it. It can make mindfulness much more almost hypnotic.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. You want to just get so far out of the world and get your head out of that red zone, which is like the front part where you're worried about all the time. And you're like, I have to do this, I have to get out of college, I have to do this, I have to go to the gym. You need to get out of there.
Yeah.
And that's what mindfulness does, it takes you. And not in a lot of people say, oh, I'm not into the mindfulness thing. And I do it every now and again, but it doesn't work for me. It won't work for you unless you actually do it consistently. That's for me what mindfulness is for everybody, because I don't think anyone's mind in the world anymore, simply, and it might sound, I can't speak for everybody, but I have a belief that a lot of people in the modern world's mind is no longer evolved to cope with the chaos. It's just, the world is chaotic, it's very fast, it's getting smaller, it's quite a fearful, scary place. And there's a big gap between the modern world and whether the brain can actually cope with the modern world. And it's up to us to close the gap. And it is things like mindfulness, the ability to step out away from, it is things like visualization techniques, mental fitness techniques, positive self-talk management. These are the things we need to teach people to close that gap so they can cope with the fucking chaos and actually embrace the chaos. Actually go, I can live with this, I can submerge myself in it, and I can completely cope with it. And that's a really good place to be, because the modern world isn't slowing down.
Exactly.
It's going to run you over if you're not going to get on board.
Exactly, and perspective as well. I mean, like when you're in school, you're looking to your leaving cert. Once you've done your leaving cert, as you say, you're looking for college, you're following the status quo as such. And then once you finish college, it's a lot of people, or I kind of have had this idea anyway of, is this it? You know, this kind of, this deep, you know, this cloud coming over saying, is this it? Now do I just go get 40 hour a week for the next 60 years or whatever? But then through mindfulness and being aware of my own thinking pattern, I'm able to just flip that and go, actually, this is it. You know, I can now, I'm finished college, whatever, I can do what I want. If I don't like what I did in college, grand, I'll go and do this until I can do that. And
if you start thinking 6 years ahead of yourself, man, you're going to be very depressed all the time. You know, that's the sheer idea of it. That's what we do. That's how we've been brought up. It's to constantly, what's going to happen? And I wrote about it in the book, and I think a line that a lot of people connected with is we get so caught up with the destination that we don't enjoy the journey. We miss everything. We don't see what's happening, the great things that actually are happening every day, right now, all around us, because we're so caught up with getting somewhere. And then we get to that place, we go, well, I don't really feel, this isn't a big bang moment or anything. And I think that's really important for everybody. But I think people who often have mental health issues, the people that I would have met, they're brilliant thinkers. That's their problem, is they think too much and their head doesn't stop. But thinking a lot's good. It can be really positive if you think about the right things.
Exactly.
You can make those thoughts not toxic, and you can make them full of empathy and full of different. And that's basically, that's called your mindset. And changing a mindset is hard, but it's completely doable. I had a toxic mindset for years. I used to, the minute I walked into a room, I would assume, and in fact attract something negative. I would assume it would be a negative outcome when I left that room, and I would act accordingly, and I wouldn't even try to let my guard down, because I just knew it would be anyway. And that's toxic, and that's suffocating. So what I started doing was I started to work off something called positive psychology, which is an immense, you should study positive. So people think psychology is just there to make sad people less sad, but it's actually there to make happy people understand what is it that makes them happy, what are the reasons they're happy, what is the traits of a happy person. And for me, it's gratitude, it's self-compassion, it's the ability to be mindful, it's the ability to have empathy, the ability not to be judging others. And I was like, that's a load of bollocks. The minute I said, load of bollocks. And my mindfulness coach says, I want you to practice it, even if you think it's bollocks, for this period of time. And after practicing it, I started realizing the effect it had on me, especially things like gratitude. Consistently saying I'm thankful for things. How lucky I am to have that, how gracious it is to have that. And not meaning it, but still saying it. And then all of a sudden, after a couple of months, I started feeling it and meaning it and actually feeling it. And that's when everything changed.